Okay, I ran out of room on the SD card, so I don't know where it stopped. But there's the other side of the sitting area. Daylily that's getting moved because this path used to go back to that corner. We had waste paper burner barrels there. We're going to break up the concrete that's there, and that's going on the nesting box side of the chicken coop so that it's a nice little flat surface for me to stand on, pseudo path. And then all of these vines, are getting hacked back. The stone pavers that are already here, well, stone and pavers, I should say, are getting put just straight this way. So this is in the way of that. And so that is going to get moved and divided. And I think part of that will go in that hell strip area, that new flower bed that I've got. Let's see, my sign got turned around. Yes, we do like gargoyles in this house. Not really sure why, but we do. This used to have perennials in it, but the chickens have scratched it all up, so like I said, that fence is getting put in. And then I can plant along here. That, once the rocks get put in along this edge, I'm going to maybe level it out. Maybe I'll just keep it sloped, but it's going to be either herbs or low veggies next year. I'm not sure what it's going to be. This year I think it's going to be annuals if I do manage to get it cleared out and de-weedified, if that could possibly be considered a word. That is a pear tree that gives us the lovely little round pears. I've made pear sauce, canned pears, I think I made a pear cake at one point. I don't remember, but we've made pear sauce, apple pear sauce, canned pears. We tried pear wine once. That was a lousy recipe. The spices overwhelmed the pears, and it just did not do well. And then because pears are pears, you need a different one to pollinate. And that one really should be topped, but the powers that be like the shape of it, and really it's not hurting anybody by getting tall. It just has fruit at the top that we can't reach. So, and that's going to have not those 4 pieces of 4x4s, but I'm thinking I might put larger ones around it and have that be a strawberry bed around the pear tree, because it does get a fair amount of sun. And then this used to be a bird bath, but the top of it cracked and broke, and so I put a basket on top. So that's going to have wave petunias in it, I think, this year. And yes, there's another gargoyle. And that's the other bucket that matches the other side of the deck. And another pot. Those 2 are going to be what is called a honey cow. It's a version of a top bar beehive. I really am not sure how that works, but supposedly it does. Yes, the deck is icky. Very icky. And it will stay icky until the fence gets put up, because chickens, you can't potty train the little buggers. At least I've not been able to. And around the side here, we have the dog bed. And I'm not really sure why we have the dog bed, because she never uses it. pine cones saved from the trees that drop in our yard to use as fire starters, and our firewood. And those are the pallets where we have the easy access for the actual in the house access. That path that, well, it was nice and clean earlier this year, is for the fuel oil guy to be able to come and fill and not be wading through jungle, but, well, the jungle's taking over again. As you can see, it's jungle. Believe it or not, that is a lot less jungle than it was last summer. I pulled out tons and tons and tons of raspberry runners and weeds, and I have more to do again. Anybody have a flamethrower I can borrow? But those are wild raspberries. The birds planted them, and I moved them over here. And I still have 10 cups of raspberries in my freezer. And we will have more raspberries this year. Along here, let's see if I can find any that are blooming. Well, maybe we won't have raspberries this year, which is surprising. But there's a lot of dead bracken, black stuff in here that I need to cut back and hack back. And I think I need to get the good leather gloves out before I do that, because these things have incredibly sharp, pointy bits all over them. So I'm going to try to take precautions, because I already dug one splinter out of I was rummaging around in the dirt without my gloves on, and got a splinter from a piece of raspberry that wasn't supposed to be on that side of the fence, but it was. So that is my yard. More weeds, yay, but it's pretty, so it can stay there until I need that gate and yank it out. But I suppose that's an odd place to close the welcome, but welcome.